So you've got a fountain pen or two, maybe even a few inks to play with, and even some nice paper to make it all work well together. And maybe you're looking for something else? An inexpensive and easy to use item would be a glass dip pen. This one here is a super basic one that I picked up inexpensively from Dollar Tree quite a while ago. But you can definitely pick up more elaborate ones on Amazon and eBay, depending on where you look. While they will function the same, they can look a lot more intricate. What makes these function is the spiraled tip, which has flutes that'll hold on to the ink, each channel giving you a small ink capacity to continue writing. To get started with one of these, you'll need the pen itself, and I'd recommend a square of paper towel or tissue. To get these ready to write, you'll dip the tip of the pen down into the ink. No reason to go past the flutes on the spiraled section. And as you pull the pen out, I usually wipe the very tip off just to get the excess that's about to drip off. Before writing, I like to tap the tip of the nib down to a piece of paper towel. Again, this just pulls off the excess. Without doing this, the first line or two will write excessively wet, and depending on your paper can cause feathering and bleed through. So I like to do this for a more even writing experience. Unlike a fountain pen, which will write fairly consistently from start to finish, other than when it's almost empty, a glass dip pen will write more wet at the start and then slowly dry out as the flutes run out of ink in the channels. So as you write with this, you'll need to slowly rotate the pen because there's multiple channels in the twisted section there, and whichever one's facing down is going to be the one that's giving ink to the page. For me personally, at the end of every line, I just give it a eighth of a turn or so and keep going. From a single dip, you can actually write a fair amount. Even with the dip that I did, which was only about 3/4 of the way, I was able to get probably 3 sentences worth on this page before I needed to dip again. For me, what makes a glass dip pen so useful is the ease and speed of getting it set up, unlike a fountain pen, which takes a minute or two to get filled up with ink. If you're using a converter and a bottle of ink, with a glass dip pen, you're able to dip it in whatever ink you want and go ahead and write. And if you ever want to change to a different color, you just dip it down in some water and wipe it off with a paper towel, and you're ready to dip in a different color if you want. So this makes glass dip pens a very useful tool if you just want to test out a new ink and see what it looks like on the page, or maybe you're writing out a letter or cards where you want to change colors depending on what part of the page you're on. Unlike with a fountain pen where you would need to clean it out and fill it back up to change colors, with these you just dip it in water and wipe it off and you're good to change as often and as freely as you would like. Unfortunately, I haven't seen these pens in the Dollar Tree anytime recently, so I do have some affiliate links to Amazon in the description below for a number of different options that I think would be a good place to start if you were interested in trying a glass dip pen.